Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. So, today we're doing the kind of monthly check in with the person on your mind on what they've realized or what they're realizing. The timeline will be different depending on your situation, so please trust your own intuition over mine or anyone else's when deciding what messages to take and what messages to leave. But yeah, I don't really have a lot to say for this introduction, so I will leave you to focus on which deck calls to you the most, and I'll see you at your reading. Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome. Let's get into it. I already got you some oracle cards, but we'll clarify with tarot advice with more oracles and channeled messages. And I should take the channeled messages out as well, because I didn't do that. Okay. All right, let's get into it. So we have number 17, Leo, I will. We have number 14, Affluence. We have number 41, North Node, Life's Purpose. Number 55, Suspicion. And we have number 43, Source. One thing that is coming through very strongly is this person has realized how big of an impact they have on you and how big of an impact you have on them. This might be someone that you're very connected with, especially on an energetic level, but this would be someone that like you met and something clicked. It feels like that type of connection. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. It doesn't matter like what happened between the two of you. In the meantime, it doesn't matter what the exact timeline was, but there is a very, very deep connection here. I'm hearing your energy sing the same song. That was a lot of S's. It wasn't really, but it felt, well, like I was just like saying a lot of S's. The letter S could be significant. Doesn't have to be though. I feel like this person feels really safe around you. And I think they're surprised by it because I don't think this is someone who typically trusts people a lot or someone who like depends on other people. I feel like they might be more independent in spirit, or this might be something that they're trying to do more of, to depend on their own self before anyone and anything else. This might be something that they've had to learn. And I'm really drawn to how we have 14 and 41, which is like a mirror image, kind of. But it is to me right now in this moment. And I feel like I'm hearing it's in my blood. This person feels very, very drawn to you. Like it feels like there is like something kindred about what you share, something kindred about the energies you share and the energies you embody. And I feel like this person is coming to realize that, and I feel like they're coming to accept it as well. Maybe this was something that they were battling with in the past, or something that they weren't very open to receiving. This might be because there was a lot of healing to do, a lot of kind of internal emotional fulfillment, a lot of internal coming to terms with the changes they're going through. I feel like this is someone who has been growing steadily, and you may have met them at a time where they weren't coming from a fully healed place when it comes to their approach to relationships and intimate connections. I think they're coming to realize that this doubt that they may have had around this connection is internally generated. They might not fully understand the connection itself. They might not be very spiritual or like have a belief of spiritual concepts, regardless of what you might see this connection as. I feel like this person sees this as someone in something incredibly significant, something incredibly inspiring. And I think they understand that there is way more to this connection than what meets the eye. and that this connection has been a lot more life-changing than they may have initially thought. There is something that they didn't expect here, something about you that they didn't expect, something about this connection that they didn't expect to feel or that they didn't expect to experience. It feels like they are very, very, very drawn to you, regardless of the state of this connection. Some of you may not be in contact. There could have been a separation because this feels like there may have been a lot of triggering, especially around the heart space, especially around opening up, being vulnerable. It feels like you and this connection and meeting you has led to a lot of expansion in the heart space. Like, I keep on seeing kind of this happening. I bet that's gonna be like the thumbnail thing that plays when you drag your like mouse over the video, because that's what always happens whenever I do like a weird hand movement. That ends up being the thing that pops up. But anyway, I feel like there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of attraction. I think there's a lot of love as well, whether this has been like spoken out loud or not. Or if like they're just very deep feelings. There's a lot of happiness that this person feels around you. And I think in the past, they didn't accept that as it was. Maybe they were like, no, like, I can't feel this way about someone. Or like, this isn't right. Or like, I have to do something else. Like, I can't focus on this. It feels like there were a lot of restrictions that they kind of placed on the connection itself. And it feels like they are coming to realize that there are no restrictions when it comes to what they're allowed to feel. But I feel like they're realizing that they placed restrictions on themselves. They made their own self hold back from this connection. They created obstacles in their own energy in the way of this connection. And this could have been due to both of you having wounds that still needed healing, or maybe the timing wasn't right for the two of you to come together, or for things to fully ground yet. But with this fire above, sky below, it really feels like this person is seeing what's beneath the surface, while also recognizing that the potential here is not limited to what they once believed it was. Now let's get into your tarot to see what else wants to come through. And there's a little bit of dust there, which has been annoying me this whole time. It's getting cold, so I'm wearing really thick sweaters and the wool just like gets stuck everywhere. But yes, let's get into it. I think this person recognizes you on an energetic level. And I don't think they understand what that means. I don't think they've come to realizations around kind of all that. But I feel like they are seeing things that they did not before. That they kind of made themselves unsee the potential here, or not realize the potential here to ground this connection. But this also feels for most of you like it was a necessary part of your journey together. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Judgment in reverse, the Emperor, we have the Lovers in reverse. I do feel you are, for most of you, not with this person, or at least not in a committed relationship. We have Aries energy, Pisces energy, and Gemini energy. These could be significant, but they don't have to be. We have the Page of Cups. This person is realizing that they need to allow themselves to have fun. I think they feel very responsible for their own healing, but it feels like maybe they've been doing nothing but focus on that, the things that they need to do. And it feels like they haven't been having a lot of fun. Even if they have been like around people, exploring, it feels like they haven't really allowed themselves to have fun. We have the Chariot, so much major arcana as well. Cancer energy could also be significant, but it doesn't have to be. Even if they haven't seen you for a very long time, this person still has not gotten over you. They still haven't forgotten about you, and they still, I feel the same pull towards you. We have the Tower in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. They may have asked you to set boundaries with them, or you may have set boundaries with them, or it just feels like both of you have been pushed into a more guarded energy towards each other, so that both of you can focus on your own healing, on your own journey for some time, so that maybe this person could come to some realizations, so that you would both be in an energy to call each other back to... I'm really drawn to the leaves here, which I don't think I ever noticed on this card before, but this kind of is like, I don't know, it's like a desert, but then there's all this water flowing and then this opportunity blossoming. Even if things seem difficult or impossible, there is like this blossoming inspiration, this blossoming energy of hope here. Even if you haven't talked to them in a while, whether this is like a year or like a week. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, but then this card gets stuck as well, so we'll see what it is. We have the Nine of Cups in reverse, and I also felt called to check the bottom deck. We have the Moon, and this card that is sticking out is the Three of Swords in reverse. So a lot of healing. This is the Three of Wands that's sticking out. You might be at a distance to this person, like at a physical distance, or you may have like not been around them physically for a while. And I just flipped this upright. I don't know how or why. I didn't even notice. But I think this is very telling of the way this person has been denying their own self what they want. And with this Moon energy coming out as well, again, there is that magnetic pull, that magnetic connection. There is very deep emotion here. I think you've shown this person, I'm hearing a whole new world. And then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Of course we do. And then we have the Four of Wands. Someone wants to come back. They feel obliged to, almost, with the Guru energy coming out as well, which is the Hierophant. And then we have the Sun. I'm gonna stop, I promise. But we also have the Sun and the Moon as a side note. So yin-yang energies. But I think this person is realizing that they have been very much like controlling or trying to be in control of situations. And I feel like they are in a place where they're realizing that it's okay to loosen their grip, that things will fall where they need to, that things can work out after all. It's not that things will always go wrong for them. It feels like that type of energy, and I feel like these are the main realizations this person has come to, or that they are coming into. Let's clarify with some more oracles. I want to actually use the Prism Oracle. I'm hearing they're being relieved of their pain. So this person may have been carrying a lot of past energies, past trauma, maybe things that stem from childhood, maybe like high school, but something to do with relationships. We have a creativity. They are moving into this inspired energy. Death, pain, being relieved of their pain because this cycle that they've been in is wrapping up. And then we have abundance. I feel like they have been working really hard, and now they're moving into a place where they recognize that they can have fun as well, that they can't just be working. That's not the point of this. I feel like they are experiencing shifts right now. And these could be external, but we have consciousness coming out as well. I feel like most of these realizations, these transformations, have to do with their internal world and how they see themselves and how they are coming to recognize their own role in placing these limitations on their own self, these boundaries, these kind of limitations, like unless I like do this, I can't be with them, or like unless I get this done, I can't enjoy myself, or and it feels like it was just a list of things that they kept adding and adding, like a never-ending cycle of needing to get things done so that they could do something else, something that they truly love doing. But it feels like maybe it never got to that thing that they loved. It was always just task after task. And it feels like they are allowing themselves to be more free now, because it almost feels like while seeking their independence, they may have limited themselves from doing things that they actually wanted to. And as a result of that, they may have ended up caging themselves more than like setting their own self free and becoming independent. I do feel that there has been a lot of healing going on here, a lot of releasing of pain, especially from the past. This connection itself may have been very, very triggering, but I don't think it was you that hurt this person. I think it's something else. I think it's maybe a collection of things from their past, like a past relationship, or a relationship with a parent, a loved one, or maybe the relationship between their parents, the loss of someone. I feel like they came into this connection with a lot of weight on their shoulders. And I don't think they were willing to genuinely let go of those for a while, because I think maybe they were comfortable in their healing cycle. Maybe they were comfortable guarding themselves from the world. And like them healing was kind of also, while it was, I think, true and genuine that they were putting a lot of work into themselves, I think it may have also been like something that they told themselves to avoid getting into situations that might be more high risk, like grounding this connection, for example, if that was something that they avoided or like ran from or escaped from in some way. Let's get you some advice / whatever wants to come through. I actually don't want to use this as advice. I think I'm going to, no. Channeled messages. That's what we're doing. I feel pressured. I just heard by myself. I'm really confused. What is this person? Oh, we have I want to go with the flow. I need more time. I'm hearing the word recalibration. I'm not the person I used to be. Yeah. Because they're getting used to this new way of being. We have let go of the past. What messages want to come through for my beautiful pile ones, please? What does this... Oh, no. Okay, I just dropped some cards. Okay. I added some new messages, so it's getting like progressively harder to shuffle these. Please try to understand my perspective. I don't know what I want, and then we have my mind is set on you. So where this person is on their journey will be different for every single one of you. And often when I do realization readings, the messages, to me at least, show up on a timeline. So only take the ones that do resonate with you. You might be picking up on this person's energy as well. You might already have an idea about where they're at, depending on like what's happened between the two of you. But they're definitely not, like, they haven't forgotten about you. I watch your social media as your bottom deck energy as well. I think they really value you and value the time that you've spent together as well. It feels like they're getting used to a new way of being. What messages want to come through? Nothing. There's only one that like flew out. We have I am insecure. This person might be afraid to come forward at this point, especially if they've changed their mind a lot around this situation, or if they've been indecisive. I think they want to do right by you. I also saw behind the I watch your social media. We have I don't want to hold you back. I think this person doesn't want to like walk in and out of your life. And I think they want to be sure before they do anything, because I think they don't want to confuse you. And I think if they have been stuck in cycles, they might be insecure around saying something or like opening up to you, because I think they don't want to put you in a situation where you feel responsible to deal with their stuff. Because you might just be naturally very giving, very understanding. I don't know where to go and I don't know how to get there. Yeah. I'm hearing I don't know where to find you. I wish things were different. And we have I want to talk to you. Yeah. Oh. We have the King of Wands. I think they're building courage. I know this is a completely different tarot deck, but like when I was putting the messages back, this card just flew away from the top of my deck pile. So I think they are like pushing themselves to a more powerful, more courageous space. But I think this is also like, again, this whole new way of being. So I think it's not the most like straightforward process. Let's see what advice wants to come through, or any additional information. Is there anything else that we're missing? Anything else that wants to come through for my beautiful pile ones? For some of you, this person might be very focused on career as well, or like education, some kind of improvement of their like lifestyle. Limitation is power. Lean into your limitations. Brings me back to them kind of limiting their own self and undoing these patterns, unlearning these fears, these like anxiety or fear-based beliefs or thoughts, boundaries that they've set for themselves that they realize that they may be coming to realize weren't really serving them at all. We have way of faith. Let faith be your guide. And willpower. Improve your willpower to reduce your stress level. Again, moving into that King of Wands energy. And with way of faith, I think this, for one, speaks about this kind of deep energetic connection here. And this card has been the bottom deck energy both times I checked it. Heart of the matter, align life's pathways through the heart. Again, like deep emotional connection, and it feels like this person is wanting to come to this place of like truly feeling like things will happen the way they need to be, and they don't need to control everything. They don't need to be just always holding on tight so that things don't fall apart. When things are meant for them, they don't need to try to make things stay. They may have had like painful endings, or like they may have gotten very attached to certain past situations that didn't end up working out, and they may have a fear around this as well. But I can tell they're working on it, like really hard. And I think your energy is pulling them as well, like pulling them further on their journey. You might have had similar realizations in the past. It feels like you've been through a similar journey possibly as well. We have worked through your fears. Yeah, new moon in Scorpio. And you may kind of serve as a guide, like you may appear as a guide to them in certain ways as well. And we have be bold and make the first move, which was the card I saw when I said you may have been through similar lessons as well. Bottom deck energy is a win-win outcome is forecast. And I'm hearing like we're in this together, which makes me think of the High School Musical song of like we're all in this together. And I cut the deck and we have a new romantic cycle begins. So if you are manifesting a new beginning here, I think you're pulling this person in. A new start is coming. I cut the deck again. Okay, let's get you some affirmators. First, we'll start with the love and relationships one, and then we'll get some advice from the original one as well. Reliability. I am reliable. When I say I'll do something, I take whatever that something is seriously. This applies to all commitments, even the ones that may have seemed small and insignificant to a less reliable me. From now on, flaking is just for dandruff commercials and cereal factories. I think this is the energy they want to embody as well, but this could also be a significant message for some of you if you feel it resonates with your energy as well. We have solidarity. We're in this together. I respect the power of solidarity and look for opportunities to unleash it. When a loved one has to do something tough, I'll heed their often silent but sometimes loud and whiny call and participate in the toughness with them. Everything is easier when a partner, cohort, sidekick joins you. The only thing that's not easier is feeling resentment, which I suppose is the overall point. Your bottom deck energy is wholeness. I am complete, whole, and filled with love. I have everything I need. If I ask or look for more, I'm ignoring the love and gifts that are already in my life. Instead, I'll be grateful and acknowledge that anything else would be extra icing on life's cake. FYI to whoever is listening, extra icing is totally welcome, as it's obviously the most delicious part. I think for most of you, this might be the energy you are embodying, that this person is aiming to embody, and the energy that is calling this person in. But I also want to get you a message from this deck. If anything wants to come out. What message wants to come through for my beautiful pile ones? Personal growth. As I move toward greater consciousness, I feel old thoughts and habits fall away. Like training wheels on a bike, they helped me get to where I am. But now that I can ride, I don't need those slow and crummy wheels, except when I'm making bike analogies. Is there another message that wants to come through? Anything else? Oh, we have power. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I'm like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I'm like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. Again, like very similar energies. Is there anything else we should do? I think that's all. I think this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile ones. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome. We're starting with these oracle cards, then we'll clarify with a bunch of other cards and channeled messages. So the first card we have is 7th house partners. Libra energy could be significant, but it doesn't have to be. We have number 23, splitting apart. Number 28, 4th house roots. Cancer energy could also be significant, but again, doesn't have to be. And we have number 62, stagnation, and number 58, calm. This feels like the calm before the storm for this person, or at least it feels like the calm because maybe the storm hasn't reached their awareness yet. It feels like there may have been a very painful separation in this situation, and it feels like almost like they delayed their emotions or delayed their true reaction to this separation, or delayed like experiencing their true feelings. And it feels like that is coming up now because it feels like maybe they don't have space anymore to be repressing all of these feelings, to be repressing all of these reactions and kind of covering them up with maybe like a mask, or just pretending like everything is well, or they're doing great, or this didn't affect them at all. It feels like they may not have shown their true, authentic reaction to this situation yet, but it feels like I'm really drawn to this volcano here. It's like it's coming up, and like you can't really stop a volcano. And it feels like they sense it, or like they have some awareness of these coming up. I think they might be carrying a lot of wounds from like before this connection, maybe from other people, other situations, maybe their childhood. It feels like with the 7th house energy, there are a lot of lessons that are coming up for them in terms of how they connect with people, in terms of how they in terms of, oh my god, it's so early in the morning and my voice always does this. I'll just take a sip of coffee and I will be right back. So, getting back into the reading, it does feel like there's a storm brewing. I think you've already been through the storm though, or maybe you are kind of in it and you are dealing with it right now, but it feels like it hasn't happened fully for this person yet. With this 7th house, it feels like there are lessons coming up in terms of how they connect with others, in terms of like how they interact, in terms of their give and take, in terms of their behavior, especially in like partnerships or intimate connections, or like mainly in one-on-one relationships, I would say. And it feels like with this 4th house, they are having to, or they will have to connect with their true self and see their wounds and face everything that they might be a little too scared to face right now. It's almost like I'm getting a little bit of a paralyzed energy from them, regardless of what they might be doing on the outside. On the inside, it feels like a deer in the headlights. Like, it feels like there is anxiety and there is fear, but it feels like they're just kind of staying in place because of this, rather than like run now, because it almost feels like maybe they've been running in the past. Maybe they ran from you. Maybe they self-sabotaged, did some things to sabotage the connection itself, and they may have caused a lot of pain towards you while they were doing this. And if that's the case, one very important thing for you to know is that whatever happened here, however this person may have treated you, is not because of you. It's not because of something you did. It's not your fault. Even if they blamed you for it, it's not. I can sense the heaviness in their energy because of all this kind of pain that I feel they've been carrying. And of course, like, being hurt is not a reason, it's not an excuse to hurt other people. And I'm not telling you these to say like, oh, like, you should go easy on them, like, excuse their behavior, it's fine. No, it's not. I can sense that the way they've treated you was not okay. And it's very important that you know that and that you react in any way that you feel the need to. But it's also very important that you don't hold on to the pain itself, that you don't hold on to the negativity and let it kind of consume you. Because it feels like there may have been like just a lot that happened here, or like a lot in intensity at least. This image is like very, very striking to me. It feels like a very heavy, very sudden, almost shocking energy. You may have like had to leave this connection as well as a result of this person's actions, their behaviors. It may have been very rough, it may have been very confusing, and I think they're coming to realize how wounded they actually are as a result of what happened in this connection. There might be some patterns that they learned through like observation. Maybe their parents didn't have the most stable, healthy, loving relationship. This doesn't have to be the case for everyone, but observing others is one way through which we can learn. And for some of you, I think this may not necessarily have to do with their own relationships, but relationships they have seen or observed or witnessed. For others of you, it might be just this person's like own past relationships. They may have been betrayed and they may have taken on these behaviors to protect themselves. And again, like, none of this excuses anything that may have happened here, any pain that they may have made you feel, any unfair behavior that may have been a part of this connection. But maybe this helps process things on your end as well, to kind of understand why this person may have acted the way they did. And it's very, very, very important that you know it's not you. And this person's behavior is not your responsibility either. It is their own. And I think they are realizing that they need to own these behaviors because it is a part of them. But it feels like they have been disconnected with their own self, with their own roots, with their own core. And when that's the case, it's very hard for a person to see their true self, to see the truth in their behaviors, to recognize their patterns. And the true first step to healing something, to unlearning behaviors, is to see what it is. We can't work on something if we don't know what we're working on. But let's get you some tarot. I think Another thing I'm hearing is like, I had it really good. I had it really good. I think they were very comfortable with you in your dynamic, in your connection, until the point where it may have been very triggering for them. I think you have that kind of mirror-like quality to them, and you may have shown them things they didn't want to see. I'm seeing like partners in both of these cards, and this is the like literal house of partnerships. And it feels almost like by looking at you, by seeing you, they had to see parts of themselves that they didn't like. Not because you carried these parts as well, but because you just were a mirror that made them see their own self. You may have confronted them, you may have like countered their behavior in ways they didn't expect. It just feels like a lot of truth was revealed to this person that they didn't necessarily feel comfortable seeing. So they may have looked away from the mirror and from this connection, and it may have left you feeling really off balance or really confused, like you did something wrong, but you didn't. There's just so much heavy energy in them, and it's not your fault that they were carrying this energy in the first place. But let's get you some tarot. I'm hearing they miss what the two of you had, but that they won't really admit it. But it's almost also like they're missing a dynamic that wasn't entirely healthy. And again, I think this is because they are coming from a wounded place, and they still haven't really worked through all of these yet. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Eight of Cups. I'm hearing I'm confused by the ending. So they might be in the process of realizing why this connection ended and their part in the ending of this connection, but their energy is very guarded. It's very defensive. It's very protective. And I think most of these patterns that they may have had, these behavioral patterns that they may have shown you, are because they wanted to protect themselves. We have the Ace of Wands. I'm hearing, I wish I could bring you back. I wish I could bring it back. They may have a lot of like ruminating thoughts, a lot of repeating thoughts. I think they're very much in their head right now. They might move from like headspace to heart space a lot, just kind of up and down, because it feels like whenever they're triggered, they try to just block it out and go back into their headspace, but then eventually they get triggered again and they go back to that emotionally triggered space. We have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Again, that kind of fear and anxiety based energy, and I do think it's clouding their judgment. So they may have lashed out at you, or they might just be overall in kind of like a more grumpy mood almost. I think this ending, whatever happened here, they're realizing that it's starting to overwhelm them. And that's why I think we have that volcano energy, because it feels like it's getting too much. We have Strength in reverse, which for me can represent a very triggered energy. And it feels like they are in need of self-compassion and self-love. I don't think they've built a healthy relationship with their own self. And it feels like there is that energy of lack, because it might be their inner child feels disconnected. it just feels like they're lacking that connection with their own self. And when we lack that connection, it's very hard to be out in the world in other connections as well. Because our own relationship with our own self is the most important relationship we have. And I think this person doesn't have that. You may have felt like they did, especially if they were very defensive, if they were very guarded, they protected themselves a lot, or if they felt like in an argument they were always right or they could do no wrong. These are just illusions. These are not true energies of accepting oneself. When you build a real relationship with yourself, you accept yourself with your flaws, you accept that you can make mistakes, but that you are not your mistakes. But I feel like this person might perceive their mistakes to be them, like directly. And I think maybe they're afraid of owning up to any faults because of that. And this is a spectrum. It might be different for every situation, like how willing this person is to own up to their responsibility and maybe what happened in this connection, or like their own behaviors, especially if they were acting out of a triggered space. I feel like they may have lashed out at you or blamed you for things. We have the Page of Cups, and we have the Nine of Cups. They can't get what they want. That's what they're realizing. They can't get what they want anymore, and they're having to settle with, like, it feels like they're realizing that they're gonna need to probably settle for something less, or someone that will give them less. And this doesn't have to be the truth, but I feel like that's how they're perceiving it now. Like, they're gonna need to settle for less. They're not gonna have this much again. Someone else isn't going to be willing to give them this much. And I think this perception is also partially caused by, again, their own relationship with their own self. I think deep down they might be very insecure. They might feel like they don't deserve good things. It just feels very guarded, their energy. It's like there's a wall between them and the outside world, but also a wall in their own energy with their own self as well. I want to clarify with some oracles. In terms of signs, we have Leo, we have Gemini, and we have Virgo. They might feel rejected by you, or someone may have like made the other person feel rejected in this connection. We have a happiness. I just heard what I left behind. I think they want to be happy, but they don't know how to be happy. I think these are the energies they're seeking. Happiness and peace. But because, and they might be like not embodying, but they might be showing up as happy and really peaceful, doing great on the outside. But then again, we have all of this undercurrent, all of this kind of turmoil, this confusion, this triggered energy. And then we have caution, yeah, because they, I think, are very careful with what they show to the outside world. I mean, even if they, on their own, are not comfortable to see their full, true, authentic self, it's understandable that they wouldn't feel comfortable showing it to the outside world if they don't even feel safe with their own self and their own energy. This is like, it does feel like a very long process though. They might be like looping. They might be ruminating a lot. They might be going back into energies that they kind of started dealing with, but then they left it like undone, like unfinished. It feels like there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of cycles just repeating for them, because it feels like, for some reason, I'm really drawn to the 9s here now, and then the 1s. We have the Magician as well. And it feels like they leave things unfinished. But okay, let's get you some channeled messages. And actually, no, I'll first get some of these oracles, and then we'll get channeled messages. And then we'll get some advice for you as well on how to deal with this situation. I'm hearing your song, but it's in French. But I think the English lyrics are also like available. I will link it down below, and you can check it out if you feel called to, but you don't have to, of course. We have Beyond the Ego, surrender to the flow of life. Celebrate life, make your life a celebration. This person is definitely seeking happiness, and I think they are coming to realize that they need to work through these fear-based, anxiety-based, ego-based thoughts, feelings, energies, behaviors first. But this feels like a long realization. This doesn't feel like an aha moment. It feels more like a long time of work, and then slowly finding all the puzzle pieces and then putting them together. We have gift of freedom, break away from your attachments. And these attachments for me represent this person's habits, their beliefs that might be self-limiting in nature, or like self-sabotage. For some of you, this person might be struggling with their mental health, because it feels like they're seeking harmony, but they don't know how to do that yet. It feels like they can't see the full truth. It might be something that gives them a lot of anxiety. But I believe that everybody has the potential to grow out of their habits, to break away from kind of anything that holds them back, and set their own self free and heal. But how they go about this, or how long this takes, what they do, the pit stops they make, that will depend on the situation and this person and their own will. So I can't really say a lot about like the timing of this, or like when this would be resolved or healed, but just know that it is not your responsibility to heal them. They are responsible for that. And it's up to them. It's up to them what they do with it. Let's get you some channeled messages, and then we'll get some advice. What messages want to come through? Are you moving on from us? I was stupid. I'm realizing that now. I'm trying my best to figure this out. I'm really attracted to you. Oh, is this the end for us? Oh no. Let go of the past. We have I am so attracted to you coming out as well. I don't know, I didn't realize I wrote this twice, but sometimes they come out together and I take it as double confirmation. We have I don't want to repeat the past. And you didn't deserve that. So they are realizing that. Bottom deck energy is I need to figure out who I really am. Anything else that wants to come through? Okay, I think we're good. You are so beautiful. Ooh. You have the most beautiful mind. You have to move on and be happy. So for some of you, this person might kind of be aware that you don't want to be involved in their energy anymore, or like if this is not the truth, they might have that perception around the situation that you wouldn't want to be involved with them. But of course, as always, take these messages as they resonate with you and leave the ones that don't. Now, let's get you some Moonology cards and then we'll get some Affirmators as well. For some of you, they may have ghosted you. That is something that's coming through now. We have hold your vision, fixed moon. And hearing the worst part is over. It's time to release negativity. One thing I feel called to mention again, which I know I've said on the channel like a couple of times before, but there is this saying or this quote that I don't remember the actual wording to, but the meaning of it comes down to holding on to toxic feelings will not poison the person that hurt you, but they will eventually poison you. And this isn't about like invalidating your emotions. Your emotions are absolutely valid and you should feel everything that you need to, but this is more so about releasing things after you're done learning from them, after you're done processing them, and not holding on to these feelings, not attaching yourself to them, not attaching yourself to the aftermath of this situation. It's about knowing when to release the heaviness of the feelings, of the things you might be feeling around this situation. Because I can feel that this situation has had a huge, like, big impact on you, for most of you. And with this hold your vision as well, some of you might be holding on to these energies And you might be taking responsibility for it or feeling like you did something wrong, so you deserve to feel this way, but you don't. You don't. And then we also have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Things may have been very rocky, but it feels like this cycle is opening up a whole new door for you. And for some of you, you might already be there. You may have walked through the door already, but for others of you, you might still be in the process of releasing energies that don't serve you. And what you decide to do in this situation is completely up to you. But the one advice I would give to everyone in this pile, if you are holding on to negativity, is to not let it get to a point where it is poisoning you. Now let's get you some affirmators. I'll start with the love and relationships one, and then we will get into the original, I guess. Celebration. When I come across people in happy, healthy relationships, I give jealousy the finger and celebrate their joy. When I do so, I'm rooting for the good guys, which means that I'm a good guy, and that means all of us win. Who wants to celebrate? Don't let, and I know this is a lot easier said than done, but don't let what may have happened in this situation taint the way you perceive love and relationships. Teamwork. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's a game, and when we're on the same side, nobody can lose. Actually, I could call to get you more from the kind of individual one. What message wants to come through from my beautiful pile twos? Everyone's a teacher. Everyone I cross paths with is a teacher in that moment. The ones who give me the fun lessons are the ones I call friends. The ones who give me the heart lessons I sometimes call a-holes. They've chosen a tough job, but someone's got to do it. So today I'm thanking all the a-holes. Thank you, a-holes, for playing your part in making me a better person. It's about transforming your experience in this situation to energies that serve you, instead of allowing yourself to hold on to energies that don't. What message wants to come through for my beautiful pile twos, please, universe? Power. I am strong, I am grounded, I am powerful. I'm like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I'm like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. And we also have ideal partnership. I am a rare and precious find, and my brilliance will be reflected back to me when I'm paired with a true match. My ideal partnerships and working relationships are easy and free-flowing. I deserve greatness because I am greatness. And to paraphrase Rumi, what I'm looking for is also looking for me. In fact, he or she might be paraphrasing Rumi right now. I said this a lot kind of in the reading I did, like the last video I posted. It's not a reading on love necessarily, but it was a reading on manifestations. But I kept saying that. I also paraphrased it, I think. But yeah. I feel called to say you're meant for so much more than what you allow yourself. But yes, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile twos. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Take really good care of yourself, and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes, and welcome. We are starting with these oracle cards, and we'll be looking into what the person on your mind has realized, what they're realizing, or what they're about to realize. The timeline will be different depending on your situation, so I will leave that part up to you. But with that said, let's get into the energies. So we have number 15, Gemini, I think. We have 8, number 8, holding together. We have number 5, Mars, Force, Scorpio, Aries, Gemini, or Leo energies could be significant because the number 8 for me is just always Leo. We also have number 42, external transformation, and we have number 31, sharing. I feel like this person has been working really, really hard on their inner world, on transforming their internal so that now their external world is transforming as well. I think they're coming to realize that connection. I think they're coming to realize that as they work on their internal world, as they work on their healing, as they unlearn patterns that aren't helping them, that haven't been helping them, especially in how they communicate with people, how they interact with people, how they express themselves. They may have had problems with setting proper boundaries, so they may have just like been someone who runs instead of setting boundaries, like setting healthy boundaries, or they may have had a tendency to just either be like all in, but like give everything to someone else, give everything they have to someone else, or like nothing at all. It feels like they may have had like a perception that things need to be this extreme or that extreme, but it feels like they're learning to be in a more gray area. It feels like they have been learning this through healing a lot of patterns they may have had from their past, especially when it comes to intimacy, especially when it comes to being vulnerable, being open, and expressing how they really feel or expressing what's really going on with them. I feel like they have been healing a lot and building a lot of courage, building themselves up, essentially. I think they are a lot more confident, or they're becoming a lot more confident in who they are and who they want to be and the things that they want to pursue. And I think this connection is one of the things that they want to pursue. And the reason that's coming out is because we have this Gemini energy, which is the Lovers in the tarot. I think they feel a very deep connection to you. This could be a spiritual connection, a soulmate energy, whatever you feel most comfortable, whatever you identify with the most, really. With this sharing energy, it's like if you're not in contact, I think this person realizes that they would like to have you in their external world as well, that they would like to talk to you, but they may not be at the point yet where they can. When I look at this Gemini sign, I'm seeing this like gateway. It's almost like they are standing exactly on the gateway, exactly in that like doorway to the life they want to be building and the person they want to become and the things they want to have in their life. And I think you have been a staple in their healing journey. Whether you recognize this or not, whether you have been in contact or not, I think whatever this person learned from you or whatever this person saw from you when you were interacting, if you're in no contact, or like still what they're seeing from you if you are in contact, I feel like these have been very valuable observations for them in terms of them maybe understanding like what it's like to have healthier boundaries, or what it's like to build your own self up, and that it's okay to be who you want to be, and it doesn't really matter what other people might think. I feel like they may have had a lot of self-doubt or a lot of insecurities holding them back, but it feels like they have been building steadily, and I feel like they've been in this cycle for quite a bit, because now they're at this point of external transformation where they're ready to change their external accordingly, according to what has been happening in their internal. And again, I feel like this connection is something that for most of you, this person wants to call in, or at least have some kind of heart-to-heart conversation with. Like, I feel like, did that sentence make any sense? I feel like they either want like some kind of closure maybe, or some kind of like reconciliation. This will be different depending on how your connection has been and how you're feeling in this connection as well. But I do see a desire for communication at the very least, and like this kind of exchange of what's been happening with them, and a very, very honest, open conversation, rather than like them holding back or them feeling insecure. And this doesn't mean that if you do have this conversation, they're just going to be like a whole new person. I do think they're still kind of in the process for most of you, but like at the maybe kind of towards, maybe they're at a point where it's like kind of getting to the end of this particular cycle. But it might be that they still come off a little bit like reserved or a little bit shy, because I think they're kind of getting used to the changes that have been happening in their life, because I feel like there has been a lot of transformation. And I think with this water above, earth below, I think right now they feel like relatively stable-ish most days, but it feels like this connection makes them like maybe overwhelmingly emotional, and they may not understand why. Like, they may have figured a lot of the things in their life out, they may have it all figured out, but when it comes to this connection, they might be like, oh, here we go again. Like, here come the emotions, here come the feelings. It feels like that kind of energy. This connection may have been a big trigger in their healing, and it may have been the same for you, especially with this Gemini energy. But yeah, let's get you some tarot to clarify. What has this person realized? Oh, we have the moon in reverse. Cancer and Pisces energies could be significant, but again, they don't have to be. The King of Pentacles. Temperance in reverse. I'm hearing I have been patient and you have been patient. Sagittarius energy could also be significant. I do think for most of you there is like an unseen aspect to this connection, like kind of like an ethereal, spiritual. And right as I was saying that, we have this Eight of Wands, which for me is a very spiritual energy. It can talk about seeing like a lot of signs about this connection, synchronicities. You might be in this energy of just feeling very connected to them or getting a lot of signs around this connection. Clairaudience is another thing coming through. You don't need to, but music could also be significant in terms of how you get messages around this connection. And right as I was saying that, there's a car passing by and the music is like really loud. It just passed, so I don't know if it showed up on camera at all, but we have the High Priestess in reverse. I think they're still in like a little bit of a question mark energy when it comes to what they think of this connection, because I feel like there is confusion around the nature of this connection and around what exactly is going on here. Can we clarify the Moon in reverse? It feels like there's a lot that they don't understand. We have the King of Cups. You may have been a guide to this person without like fully recognizing it, or you might already be very aware, but I don't think they would say like, or maybe they would, but it's like they may have felt your energy even if you weren't there, or even if you weren't talking, or they may have thought about you a lot, or like they may have seen a lot of signs about you or around this connection that kind of kept them aligned with the right path. But this may have happened on a very, very, very subconscious level, so they may not be like aware of it at all. We have the World in reverse. We have the Six of Cups in reverse. I think they really miss you, and I think they're realizing that too. That like no matter what the situation is, even if you're in contact, they still miss you. I think there is like that energy of longing, but I don't think they understand where it's coming from, especially if you are in contact. But if you're in no contact, they could still think about you a lot or have a lot of dreams about you. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. I think this person's self-love journey or your self-love journey could have been something that delayed a union here. We have the Lovers coming out again, so that is a repeating energy. I don't think this person understands this connection. Maybe that's the next step. Maybe those are the next realizations they will have. Maybe you don't understand this connection either. It feels confusing to me as well. So to be very honest, I can't say like wholeheartedly that I understand everything about this connection. But I feel like there has been a lot of healing, a lot of broadening of perspectives, of ideas, of becoming more open-minded to the unseen, the unknown. I feel like this person may have been like, for some of you, this person may have gotten into like meditation or something. They may have started there. They may not identify as someone spiritual or religious at this point, but I feel like they've kind of like, it's like they're testing the waters a little bit. And I think they're realizing that they don't know everything. which may sound like a very obvious realization, but I think maybe in the past, the things that they didn't know made them very anxious, made them very scared, and you might mirror this energy to some extent as well. You might have felt like you needed to know everything, or like to be on top of everything all the time, and this may have like manifested as part of a defense mechanism to, you know, be prepared for everything. I do feel that this person may have had a controlling side to them when it comes to how they interact with people, especially. They could have cut things off before they got too close, before they got too attached, based on past experiences or things that they've seen happen to people around them. But I feel like they have been working on all of these, and especially on healing their own relationship with their own self. And I think now this internal work, we have the Seven of Pentacles that they have been putting into their own self. And we have the Hermit as well, this like huge cycle of internal transformations. I think it's led to a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of like seeing the truth of situations, especially in their own patterns with this Three of Wands energy. We have the Ten of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Cups, and now they're getting to a point, or they have gotten to a point where they are getting to a place where they feel a lot more happy, a lot more fulfilled in their own energy, which allows them to extend it to others as well, including this connection, because I think you've extended a lot of energy towards them. But maybe they were, oh my god, the Ten of Cups is again the bottom deck energy. I was playing with the cards and I moved them, but again, we have the same bunch here. But I'm drawn to how we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So for some of you, you may have cut them off already, or they might feel like there is this rift between the two of you and how you connect. We have the King of Swords and we have the Queen of Swords, both in reverse. They might feel like you don't see eye to eye, or maybe in the past you didn't, and now they might be worried that you won't see eye to eye again if you were to have that honest heart-to-heart conversation. But if you've always like agreed on everything, I don't think this is a concern of theirs at this point. But if there were like complications in the past, or you had arguments, they might have like this kind of anxiety around what would happen, or like your reaction, or what a conversation with you would be like at this point. I want to clarify with some oracles, and then we'll get channeled messages as well as advice. What has this person realized, please? What has the person on pile 3's mind? We have energy. I think they are, I'm hearing the word awakening. Flow, balance, and happiness. Such a beautiful energy. Bottom deck energy is magic. I think this person is like coming to see again like the unseen aspect of things, that like not everything is as it seems. And with flow and balance, things might start moving more in this connection. They may have started moving, or they might be shifts coming into the energies in this connection, because it feels like this person is in a higher level of alignment with their higher self now. That's probably not how they would describe it, but it might be something like, I feel more like myself, or I feel more connected now. I don't feel as disconnected as I used to. It feels like that kind of energy. I think they're coming to realize how healing it is to heal their relationship with their own self. heart of the matter, align life's pathways through the heart, and work of art, be the portrait of divine beauty. This is them seeing their own worth. And I'm also, these figures somehow right now look very like similar to me in energy. And it feels like they're becoming ready to approach you. It's like you have been in their heart space this whole time, but they haven't been able to be there with you because they may have been disconnected from their own self, if that makes sense. But now that they are aligned more with their own self, with their own core, with their higher self, I think they're becoming more aligned with your energy as well. And bottom deck energy is dawn of love. Love is rising on the horizon of your life. Let's get you some channeled messages. Often, especially in like this topic of reading, we end up getting more mixed messages. And I think that's because the timeline is really mixed, especially in these readings. So take the messages that resonate and leave the ones that don't. We have I will come back. I don't know how to move forward. This did come out reversed though. And I don't have a message that says I know how to move forward, so maybe it's negating like the opposite meaning. I don't know. I have feelings for you that I can't explain. Yeah. I don't think I can make you happy. I'm hearing I'm making me happy now. We have I know I made a mistake, forgive me. I wish you were here. Oh, we have I really admire you, give me a sign. And I dropped some cards. We have do you think about me, the one that flipped. Is there anything else that wants to come through for my pile? Okay. They still ask about you, so if you have any mutual friends, family, or people they like talked that they talked about you to, I've made a huge mistake. I want to impress you. I'm so sorry. I feel like an idiot for what I did. So they might be like a little bit ashamed of their past self or their past actions. And we also have I'm too stubborn to come forward. I don't think this applies to everyone, but if your person is someone who's very stubborn, this might be a message for you. They might still be in a headspace of like not being really willing to take action right now. But then again, we also have I will come back. So for some of you, maybe it's a slower moving energy. Again, depends on your situation. So trust your own intuition over mine or anyone else's. Let's get you some Moonology cards. And we'll also get some Affirmators. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. very healing energy, and it's a very, very beautiful energy of pouring love into a situation, compassion, and like showing up as your authentic self. And I dropped, oh my god, do you know which card I dropped? I will show you. We have a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. Okay, very self-explanatory, so I'm not going to yeah, just ramble on about them, but let's get you some affirmators now. What message wants to come through for my beautiful pile? Oh, we have a perspective, we have listening, and we have a benefit of the doubts. Perspective. What does a hawk see when it flies over your house, besides the family of mice living nearby that you don't know about? What will your current problems, conflicts, complaints look like when you're 80 years old and you gaze back on the timeline of your life? In this moment, you're being given the gift of clear perspective, of knowing that in the end, everything is going to be probably much better than okay. Think large enough and even big issues become small. Become an 80-year-old hawk, and you're really onto something. We have listening. I activate my receptive side and become an engaged, intuitive, professional-grade listener. Supercharged listening gives me the ability to not only hear the words others are saying, but also to perceive the emotions hiding between their words. Armed with this knowledge, I'll be in a great position to give them exactly what they need, or, if I prefer, to dominate the planet. I think this comes down to this person maybe not being that great at expressing themselves still, or still maybe like showing up a little bit reserved, still working on that. And then we have benefit of the doubt. I believe in the basic goodness of other people and I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career. I'm also going to get you some of these ones. Is there any message that wants to come through for my beautiful pile threes? Okay. Oh. We have a story of my life and we have a wonder. Story of my life. As I tell myself the story of what's happening in my life, I choose to make it the kind of story where even the tough parts have a sort of inner beauty. It's ultimately a happy story where every character, no matter how wicked, is doing their best. And let me tell you, it'll be worth it when I earn that Pulitzer Prize for best inner monologue. And then we have wonder. It's a wonderful thing to be in a state of wonder. And when I'm a good audience to my life becomes better and better theater. When something delightful happens, I can shout encore and be tickled when it happens again. When something maddening happens, I can laugh it off. Either way, I'm glad I got a ticket to the show. For some of you, I'm hearing this person might surprise you. That's basically what I took away from that message. And sometimes when I read these, I just kind of read them automatically and don't even understand what I'm reading. but I read these like properly. I picked up the messages. I got them. But yes, anyway, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or in another pile. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Take care and bye.